Have you ever watched a fundraising video, felt something, and then you thought, great, but now what do I do? Well, exactly the problem. Because here's the truth, most fundraising videos inspire, but they don't convert. And if you're trying to grow a mission, fund real work, and actually, change lives, that's a problem. Today we're breaking down what makes a fundraising film actually work. Not trends or gimmicks or anything like that, but the 3 things that consistently turn emotion into action. So let's get into it. Now, fundraising isn't just a line item. For most nonprofits and mission-driven organizations, it's the fuel that makes everything else possible. And when you invest in a fundraising film, you're not just telling a story. You're asking donors to trust you with something that matters to them. Their money, their belief, their hope. So your video can't be vague, it can't be confusing, and it definitely can't waste the moment. Your work is too important for that. Now, a good fundraising video does 3 things really well. It creates an emotional connection, it clearly communicates impact, and it makes the next step sometimes painfully obvious. The best films don't just make people feel something, they guide them confidently from emotion to action. Now, after years of producing nonprofit and mission-driven films, one pattern shows up every single time for us, and that's that clarity builds confidence. And confidence drives generosity. Now, here's something that most people don't expect, and honestly, I wouldn't have either. The strongest fundraising films aren't improvised, they're prepared. Before a camera ever turns on, you have to be crystal clear on the story, the emotional arc, and the desired outcome of the piece. And now here's the paradox. The more prepared you are, the more authentic the film feels. Crazy, right? I mean, the preparation doesn't kill real moments, it creates space for them. Now, every high-impact fundraising film starts the exact same way, and that's with one human story. Not 5, not a montage of faces, but one, a single person whose experience represents the mission. Why? Because clarity beats complexity every single time. When donors can immediately understand who this is, what they're facing, and how things have changed, they can see themselves in the story, and they can see how their support actually matters. The best fundraising films don't explain everything. They show transformation, honestly and simply. Emotion opens the door, but clarity is what helps people walk through it. A strong fundraising film answers 3 questions in particular very clearly. What problem are we addressing? How do we create change? And what does impact actually look like? Not in theory, not generalities, but in real life. The most trusted films don't rely on big promises, buzzwords, or marketing jargon. They show believable outcomes and a clear path forward. Enough information to feel confident, but not so much that people feel overwhelmed, Now, this is where a lot of good videos fall apart. You can have a beautiful story, great emotion, and amazing visuals, and you still lose the moment. Because without a clear call to action, inspiration just kind of stalls. The best fundraising videos make the next step sometimes painfully obvious. Not clever, not vague, not shrouded in artistry and all that, but clear. It tells donors what to do, why it matters, and why now. Clarity always outperforms cleverness. And when you're telling nonprofit stories, focus on this. Real people, not polished messaging. Outcomes, not process. Authentic emotion, not performance. When a story is focused, doubt disappears. And when doubt disappears, trust can grow. Now, visual quality does something pretty subtle, but really powerful. It signals credibility. When you have clean sound and thoughtful lighting, intentional cinematography, these details tell donors this organization is prepared. They're thoughtful, they're trustworthy, not flashy, not overproduced, just intentional. When the filmmaking serves the story, confidence follows. So when you look at the top performing fundraising films, the pattern becomes pretty clear. One primary story, a clear mission alignment, intentional visuals, a direct, confident ask, and strategic intent. They feel purposeful because they are. They respect the viewer's time, intelligence, and generosity. A high-impact fundraising film doesn't rely on trends. It relies on focus and clarity, and especially on trust. When you combine a human story people can believe in with tangible impact they can understand and a clear invitation to participate, you don't just inspire, you motivate action. At Spirit Juice Studios, we create films that stir hearts, spark generosity, and drive real financial momentum. If you're planning a fundraising film and want an honest breakdown, we offer a free 15-minute fundraising consultation. No pressure, just clarity. So check out the links below.